Comics. Comics are simple, right? You just draw a bunch of pretty pictures and put them in a row. Add some text. All done. Everybody's happy. Except that's not really how it works, is it? It's not just a couple of pretty pictures. Single comic can be dozens, about dozens of pictures, hundreds, if you're going for the big league. That kind of work takes dedication. Artistic talent only gets you so far. Take too much time, lack focus, lack coherence, lack structure, you're done for. If you want to push it beyond a single comic, if you're dealing with a series or, like us, dealing with a fictional universe, you gotta think in different ways. It's the old question. Pantsers versus planners. The gardeners versus the architect. Do you simply plant a seed, watch it grow, try to control it, try to push it in the right directions as it grows stronger? Or do you plan it out from the beginning? Do you make blueprints? I'm sorry to say it's not really a question. Not when you're working on a fictional universe. If it's structure versus chaos, structure wins every time. Luckily, we already got the first pieces in place. We got the role-playing game, sets up the locations, sets up the kind of characters you're likely going to deal with. We got the basics of a story written. We've got location chunks, we got event chunks. We know what we need, but it's all text. In the good old days, structure for comics came in the form of a Bible, so to speak. Some called it that. Some had less blasphemous names for it, like the comic manual or the artist guide. But whatever you called it, the point of it was the same. Know what you're going to draw before you draw it, and only draw everything once. You got a character you're going to draw a lot, draw that character from different angles once and for all. When you're creating the comic and you need that character to stand up straight, arms at his sides, head turned towards the sunset. You already got all the pieces, you just need to get them in place. You got your torso drawn once and for all. You got your arms drawn once and for all, in the position needed. You got the head drawn from that angle, and you copy-paste it together. No, it's not the final product. That's not the point. The point is to make your work easier. The whole work smarter, not harder philosophy. You put them together, you got your draft. You can draw on top of that. You can add the details. You can add the little extra touches. You can add the things that you could not have imagined you would need. Tiny little things that couldn't have been foreseen. But the whole structural part, the whole foundation, you have that in your Bible, and you copy-paste, and you create your work on top of that. And when you have a burning need to add something extra artistic, well, that's a luxury that you can enjoy as a reward for having everything in place so far ahead. The good things are extras. the good things or the rewards we get for having built a solid foundation. So how does a solid foundation look these days? What are the tools that give us the advantages we need? Well, it would be quaint and nostalgic to actually draw up a full Bible for a comic. But that's not how we do it these days. We don't need to do that. You want to do it, go ahead. It's a good solid tool. But we have something else. We have 3D programs. We can design characters, at least to a certain level of detail. And we can simply set them up like puppets, like little dolls, and take a picture that we need. And voila, we have a draft. Put it all into panels, and you have a comic. Add dialogue boxes. Add all the little extra things that comics are known for. Text narration. Add funny little connections between panels. Add angles. Add huge splash pages. Huge images covering entire pages, 1, 2, even more. A solid foundation is what gives you that luxury. So how do we go about it? How do we create our comic for the fictional universe? How do we create the visual representation of the Academy? We already got the blueprint. We already know the locations we need. We have the location chunks. Each location set up quickly. A rough sketch, rough models, simple models. Keep it simple, stupid. All of it quickly set up. Angles turned. Camera angles lined up so we know what we're looking at. We create the comic in a simple, crude version so we can see what we need to improve on. Then we add what we need for the event chunks, the little changes, or big changes for that matter, to the places, the important characters, the important, events, everything that isn't the usual part of the location, set up so that we can show it in the right panels so we can see what we need. And finally, basic characters first, the kind that can be made quickly, that can be adjusted so we can see who's who, so we can see their proportions, so we can see how they bend and twist. Add them, pose them, make it work. Once we got the whole thing, once we have the comic in its crudest, ugliest version, then we can make it pretty. Then we can do all of the fun stuff, add the details, add the artistic touches. We build a solid foundation, and then we make it pretty. This is how we work.